Hey guys, it's Fari. So today I just wanted to share a framework that I use when I evaluate where I can add the most amount of value. And if you can get just a nugget from this, then I would be so happy. And it would probably help you on your journey if you're watching this to 10x, maybe 20x, whatever you're doing and whatever you do in your personal life and in your business life. So we can think of this as an airport, the framework that I like to use. You can think of this as an airport. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of planes taking off each and every hour or 2 hours, maybe 5, 10 airports, doesn't matter. So we can look at an airport. Let's say you want to own an airline, like your dream goal is to own an airline. And in order to own an airline, you need massive amounts of capital and you want to make a contribution in an airline, for example. So, although that thought is very daunting and you might not know how to get there, you can take it from first principles. And the way that I like to think about it is asking the questions that get you to the point of really understanding at the core where you can add the most amount of value. So, in the plane example, there's so many people that go onto commuter planes. So with a plane needs fuel. There are people that supply fuel. There are people that have to make the fuel. See, when you're looking to contribute, your contribution doesn't have to be a big one. It can be a stepping stone. And with the plane example, you see so many people manufacture the fuel. They go out there and mine the fuel from wherever they go mine from. And this thought process of you understanding that a plane needs fuel, but they're also intermediaries. There's so many interconnected businesses that come together in order to supply the fuel. There are people that need to transport the fuel. There are people that need to mine the fuel and need to take that fuel and make it into a fuel that is usable, Jet A or Jet A1 for jets. And not only that, you see that planes need maintenance. So once you start understanding all the factors at play, you start really understanding that your contribution doesn't always have to be the biggest one, say owning an airline right away. Your contribution can be first by helping, like transporting the people that supply the fuel. And then once you've built that up and you've exhausted all of your resources in that area, then you can expand to then now say supplying the actual fuel. And then from supplying the actual fuel, then you have an understanding. So what this also does is it gives you a combination or cumulative understanding of all the different roles that play into owning an airline, and you really understand all the factors at play in the business. And this only helps you so much so that when you do get into the airline that you're trying to own or the business that you're trying to get into, you do understand all the small factors, like all the things that come together in order to provide the final end product. Take Apple for example. We all have iPhones, but Apple does not necessarily make all the batteries. They don't go out there and mine the cobalt from Congo. They buy it from different businesses. And once you start understanding, say you want to make a contribution in the smartphone industry, for example, you can then now start looking into, okay, so who supplies batteries? There are people that supply batteries. There are people that supply the screens. And most of the time, most people get confused with trying to hit the biggest goal, but the goal that they can like actually achieve in that present moment in time is the small one, and they just build from there. Because also at the same time, you're not gonna understand, like owning an airline when you've never been in the airline industry before. So it's all about gaining experience and really understanding how you can get this experience just by supplying fuel and then building it out from there. And the reason why I say this is a very important principle or thought process or framework to use is that it also works in your business life. You know, once you understand every single cog, every single wheel that moves the needle in your business, you now understand where you can make the most amount of contribution. And now this ties back to the contribution part that I was referring to. Now you can ask yourself, okay, so where can I make the most amount of contribution in this industry? See, people get it confused that they try to take on like the biggest task, like I just mentioned before, you know, but sometimes that is not necessarily what moves the needle. The small things that actually build businesses, and most people don't probably understand this, that the businesses that really, really make a lot of money are the things that we use every single day. Take, for example, telecommunications. We all need data. We all need to phone people. You know, we use that in our daily lives. But who's actually profiting from that? It's, say, your cell phone carrier, and they have people that build the infrastructure for them, or they build it themselves, but they can't build every single part themselves. They still need to outsource. They still need to get contractors to build things for a specific amount of time. Take governments, for example. They give out government tenders, you know. If they could do everything by themselves, they probably would. But there is advantage in outsourcing, outsourcing resources, outsourcing people, outsourcing time, money, whatever the case is, you know. There's always an added benefit into outsourcing that. So once you start understanding that, and in your business life and in your personal life, you ask yourself, can I add the most amount of value in this industry? And if so, where can I do it? And once you answer that question, or once you figure out if you can answer that question, say for example, you want to make a contribution in the dental industry, but there's so many things to do with dentists. You know, you can't necessarily tackle everything all at once when you're just starting out. So you ask yourself, okay, so what are the problems that dentists face that I can solve? Take websites, for example. Each and every dentist needs a website, and they need a functional one. So then you ask yourself, okay, this is what I need to help make and can make a contribution to, helping them create high conversion websites, ones that actually convert, you know. And you tie up all that knowledge and that resource, and you bring it together, and then you help that dentist or whatever the case is build from there. So it's always about thinking about things from the root element of it, and asking yourself, the can you actually add a contribution? Can you can you contribute towards this industry or not? And this is a simple framework that I've thought about a lot, and has helped me move the needle in my business and in my personal life. And if any one of you can just get one nugget, or maybe two, any, that will help you move the needle, that's more than enough. So now you ask yourself, how does it tie into your personal life? Well, you can think of it like, say you want to become a billionaire, right? Now you need to understand, what does it take to become a billionaire? Like, what do you have to do in order to become a billionaire? Like, how can you contribute to the world by becoming a billionaire? Like, what are the services that, or what industry can you contribute if you want to become a billionaire? So now you ask yourself, okay, so I want to be a dentist. Okay, cool, you want to be a dentist. But why do you want to be a dentist? Okay, you want to be a dentist because you love fixing people's teeth, for example. Okay, so now how do you think you're going to make an impact or a contribution in the dental industry when there's so many dentists out there? Okay, what is your unique selling point, like when you want to become a dentist? And just by answering those questions and understanding that question and answering them like from a deep dive of yourself and an inventory of yourself, you really start to understand what really moves the needle, you know? Everyone wants to be this, everyone wants to be that, but what actually moves the needle, you know? What are the things that you want to make a contribution to from a root fundamental perspective, like from a root, from first principles that you can build on in order to reach the end goal, because that's what you're working towards, you know? And if anyone, like I said, can get something out of this, please do let me know. Share it. This is only gonna be for you guys to view. And if you've made it through the whole way, thank you very much.